And we're live. Happy Friday, everybody. It is October the 25th. Friday, October 25th. Thank you guys for joining. My name is Jonathan, and this is my wife,
Stephanie.
And some of you guys will know us as the parents of the Walker family. And
The parents of the Walker family? I don't think that's a thing.
what?
The parents of Eliki and Seven?
Well, they just know us as... Actually, Walker is not even the last name for these. You didn't even know that. But, yeah, we're here, and today's live is sponsored by Pacific Energy, all right? And so why is Pacific Energy wanting to sponsor a live stream on our platform? Well, it's because they're giving away 3. They've already given away 1, so there's 2 left, all right? They're giving away 2 more brand new 2024 Nissan Navara Pro 4Xs, all right? And the way that you can enter the competition is if you go and spend $30 or more at any participating Pacific Energy service station across Fiji or on Pacific or Shell lubricants, all right? Spend $30 or more, take their receipt and attach it to an entry, like a little entry form that you'll get, and then drop it into the draw box. And they will be drawing, they did the last draw on September 14th. The next draw is going to be on November 16th, so we're like, 2.5 weeks away from the next draw. So Choni Railoma is the one who won the last one.
And didn't he just put one ticket in?
Yeah, he just won a $30 ticket.
One $30 ticket, guys. So all it takes is once.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it every day. You just have to try it at least one time.
And it'll be running until, I think the last draw date is on January 18th. All right, so 3 times the charm. If you guys want to participate or get a chance to enter into the competition, then go spend $30 at Pacific Energy. The way I look at it, and I always say this, you guys are probably sick of hearing me say this, but if you're going to get fuel, you might as well just go spend the money at a place where you have the chance to win a brand new vehicle. So take it for what it is. Obviously, pick wherever you want to get your fuel, but you might as well, if you're, Pacific Energy in your area, if you spend $30, you got the chance to win. Especially you taxi drivers. I know you guys go up and just fill up like little bits at a time.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that would be. I feel like. The guy who won the first draw is not a taxi driver, but when I was scheming here with Tui, and I was like, it's got to be taxi drivers who win, because they always go up and fill like $20, $10, $15.
So now they just need to do 30.
Yeah. But what was psycho is that there was a girl who won, and there's consolation prize that they're giving out along the way, and one of the ladies won at the draw date. They gave away like 3 consolation prizes and the grand prize being that new truck, and one lady won twice. Like they rolled
No, she did not.
all the tickets in Fiji, all the thousands of tickets, they picked out a name. And it was, I don't know, I wouldn't know where she was from, but picked her name. Rolled it again, Picked her name again.
She's the luckiest person in Fiji, maybe.
But then I was like, oh, kind of like too bad to win like 2 Apple Watches
What?
and not
Okay,
one
it's never.
truck.
It's not okay. Okay. Well, if you look at it that way, but 2 things is better than
No, I know. I'm
0.
just like, you had like a lot of luck, but just like
not quite
not the
right.
big time
okay,
luck.
but like
But
still.
I was like, she should go and like buy a scratch and win ticket that day.
Oh yeah, keep your luck rolling.
Yeah.
I don't think they do those in Fiji, do they?
No, they do. Do they too?
Yeah.
Scratch and win. Yeah.
Oh, they do. Oh.
Test lotto.
Oh, so there is lotto here.
And
I
what is
didn't
that
know
from?
there is
Like it's from
lotto.
New Zealand and everywhere.
Australia.
It's from Australia.
Oh.
Okay, got it.
I used to do those all the time when I was waitressing in the morning. I'd go for like morning shift, and all the girls would put $5 in, and then someone would run across the road and buy us all like these lotto tickets, and we did that every single morning, and just like see, it's what a waste of money. I don't think I ever won more than like $8, so I made like one of my mornings.
So you guys would
back.
all buy one big one together?
No, we just buy a bunch of little ones.
Like each would have one?
Yeah, but they're not like $5 each.
This is in
They're
Seven
like,
Arm?
no, this was in Prince Albert.
At Smittys.
At Chicken Chef.
Oh, I forgot about Chicken
Yeah.
Chef.
Yeah.
What is Chicken Chef for those who... I don't even know if that place exists
No, I
anymore.
don't know what it is. It's just a diner. It's just like a...
Oh, it wasn't like a... What, DMC? Or
Kind of-
DMC? FMC?
It would be like that, but like
Father, Mother, Child?
breakfast food. Okay, it's not like that
DMC.
at all. It's not like a chicken
Dad,
place. It's not a KFC.
Mother, Child? Yeah, Dad, Mom, Child. Dad, Mother, Child, I think is what it stands for. Yeah.
But this place was just like where all the like riggers would go. The guys that came off the oil rig would come have breakfast, or like construction workers come for their coffee. Just like old man's club, come in for their pancakes, and then it's just like just hang out. It's fine. It's a good little job.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like
That's
that
where I
one
met...
better.
I think I met you
No,
when you were working at Chicken
met
Chef.
me when I was working at Smittys. Yeah, 100%. And
Well, why did... Oh, it was right before me, huh?
yeah, just right before
It
I
was when you were
started.
dating the other guy.
No. Dating the other guys.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry. Very possible.
This is me in
Didn't
that
happen.
moment.
Okay, well, you try being
I died.
a girl in a city full of men when there's not a ton of options for women. You can go
true.
on as many dates as you like, which I didn't.
That's why I found you.
Yeah, I don't think that's why you found me.
Ba-doom-tsh.
Oh yeah, womanizer over there.
Oh, yeah.
John, we just called you the womanizer always. Lucky me, I was the first person you titled girlfriend.
It's true. I didn't really have anybody. You know, kidding. I was friend zoned. I was a friend zone kind of guy. A lot of, if there's a lot of women who share intimate stories with you, you're friend zone kind of person. And it feels good. Because it actually does feel
What do you
good.
mean it
Because,
feels good?
well, because you know, you feel like I am worthy of being a person you abide in. And I think my personality type obviously got something from being that person too. Many, many women.
Wow, like 5.
So many women. Yeah.
So,
And I just always knew like the nitty gritty details of everybody's relationships and all the drama. But I was never the guy who was, you know.
here's the thing. I think you just listened too well. And at the time, you were a little husky. Right? And then the best part is, like, after...
Here's me again. I was what? Husky?
Okay, we were, which I didn't think looked bad, but I know that, like, after a year or two, like, you really slimmed down, you worked out, and then everybody was regretting. They're all like, oh, shoot, I friend-zoned him way too hard. But that's what happens to a lot of guys. When they hit this, like, 17, 18, around there,
Yeah.
their metabolism picks up, and they slim down. Like, I remember there's a couple guys in my high school.
I think we actually talked about John Chapman on the last live.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, I think so.
We did. Yeah, we were just talking about when it was the last live. Hi, John. I
Yeah.
don't think he listens to these, but anyway, I think like what happens to guys, like they slim down. Like I remember a couple guys in my high school, super chubby, And then the next year came back, they're like, hey, how are you? And you're like, I don't think I know you.
Yeah.
And you're like, who's the hot guy in school? It was that guy, the chubster. And all of a sudden, like the next year, damn, shorty. Yeah. And they introduce themselves. You're like, wow, look at you, right?
Yeah.
Same personality, so it doesn't
Great.
change much. But
It's crazy, man.
you just needed to stay in school one more year.
It's crazy. It's so many girls. One. There's only one.
You know what? The women that love John the most are like plus 45. You have
Oh, yeah.
a crowd there.
I'm a big hit with the elderly. The elderly and the
Really?
yeah. Just we'll leave it at
Yeah,
that.
we'll
With
leave,
the
it,
elderly.
we'll leave it at that.
If you guys got questions, by the way, we're doing this podcast live as well. So if there's questions, then you guys got to type them in there so that we can hang out with you guys. That's why we do this. We met a lot of you guys as we were just in the Suva area, and everybody wants to take pictures and say hello. And so we really, really appreciate that. And so the reason we do these lives is that we get to hang out with you guys and do the podcast is that you guys can get to know us on a bit of a deeper level.
Yeah.
And obviously, we don't just do the podcast because we want to be seen or because we want you guys to know intimate details about us, but because we believe that honest Christian business people can change the world. And the way that we do that, I think that we do it without having, businesses that our parents have, had the privilege of starting or having, a bunch of money to go out and do this with is to create content, and that's the way we built our brand. And so you guys get to know us by us talking and seeing us in videos and stuff like that. And so that's where we are today, and that's why we're doing the pod.
So interesting business thing that John and I ran into and always run into and always forget about is recently at the coffee shop we had one of our staff call us about an issue. And John had told me about the issue, and my instant reaction was to be angry and like call the person and be like, what happened? Because it was a silly mistake that we had just talked about the week prior. And on our end, it sounded like, we screwed this up again. And I was kind of going, first reaction was just like, oh, I'm so frustrated. Like, this is so annoying. And our girls are great, but, sometimes it's so hard when you're like, okay, this is the thing that we need to be doing, and then it just falls to the wayside. Anyway, I waited a few days just to kind of like think about how I wanted to address the issue and, see what actually happened. And then I gave our manager a call, and I just said, hey, like, what happened the other day with this situation? And it was really funny because my reaction would have been like a not valid reaction to come in so like irritated if I had called right away. Because the situation I had thought happened was that we didn't order any more meat for the store, and we had ordered it, and the actual company that was supposed to be delivering it didn't deliver it. And we had some confusion with our staff, and we got told there's no meat. And so I thought, oh my gosh, should we not take stock again? Did we not place this order? Like, why is this happening? And lo and behold, I took some time. I wasn't coming in hot, and I called.
Accusational.
Yeah, accusational. I called and just said, hey, what happened? And lo and behold, it was the other company that screwed up, right? And didn't give us our delivery, and then our staff had some confusion. And they are fantastic. But this is just something that I wanted to talk about because I think sometimes in business, as business owners, we can get really angry or frustrated right away about situations. But especially in Fiji, you don't always know the whole picture.
Especially in Fiji, anywhere.
Yeah, but I find here, I don't always have clarity to what happened. I have to go in and
just
kind
communication.
of... Yeah, I just have to kind of like suss out the situation on all the different staff sides to kind of put like a bigger image together of what happened. And so I just think that it's really important for us in business here to take a breath. And, if you feel like, take a moment, settle down, and then just go in and ask what actually happened. You need to hear all sides of the story and not just make assumptions for yourself as a business owner. Even today, I was saying to one of our staff members, I could have caused a lot of drama between our staff members. If I came in and was like, hey, you didn't do this, and I heard it from the other staff member, all of a sudden, they're in, like, having a dramatic moment between them because I came in way too aggressive, and I didn't know the whole story, right? So I think that's something that in business here, especially, that we need to make sure that we hear all sides of the story. We don't come in so accusational. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because I don't know, for whatever reason, we have this thing built into our heads that, from a service standpoint, I guess the customer is always right. And when things get missed, you assume that the person reporting the thing missed is right. And that's not always the case. And we're not the most successful business people in the world, but we've done business for a long time. And it's, allowed us to be here and live this life that we're living. And so I don't speak as like a guru. I don't think either of us speak as like the business gurus who have, make, $10,000 in our sleep. Like, that's not us. But we've been grinding for like 15 years, and it's been fun and awesome. And what we've learned is that, like, it's always best to, you've hired these people for a reason. But this is not the case for most people in Fiji. I don't know what your hiring processes are like, or what your human resources teams organize for employees, or you just take anybody who walks in off the street and wants a job and has breath and a pulse. But like for us, we actually trust our staff. We hire them for a reason. Like, we hire based off of ethics, not off of experience. And so we believe in the honesty of our people until they prove us wrong, because honesty is like really hard to gain, but it's really easy to lose. And so we always need to be reminded of that, because like when situations like this come up, we can be quick to assume the worst and to point fingers and play the blame game. But it's honestly always best to remember that, like, I hired this person for a reason. They're a good person. They probably didn't do this on purpose, which usually they didn't. Even though it might seem like malicious, just assume that they didn't do it. And then if they did, if they were being an idiot or they weren't doing their job properly, then you can proceed as such. But you're going to look like an idiot if you come in hot, and then you're going to feel like you have to be all defensive. Like, well, yeah, we should be doing a good job. It's like, we can have these talks and figure out that kind of stuff afterwards. But once you come in too hot, you've kind of like set the bar for the conversation.
And I've definitely done it like a
handful
of times.
We've learned this. Like, I'm saying this because like we've done it a bunch. Like, think about it. We own a cleaning company. We clean like gyms and offices and houses in Canada. And so, like, how often do you think things get missed in houses? Like, often. Like, probably once every month or something like that. We have a client call us and be like, hey, this got missed. And our policy there is like, no, like, we just send the people back, no charge. We fix the problem because that's our job. But in those cases, we've had so many times where we're like, how the heck did they forget to clean the bathroom, the second bathroom downstairs? That doesn't, and you just want to pick up the phone and be like, okay, did you really? Yeah. And then there's usually, no, when I went, downstairs, like the water in the building shut off and there was no water. So I just did my best to like polish it up a little bit, but there was no water. And so,
or like
stuff
a
like
couple
that.
months ago, I had, we clean a yoga studio, and I had the owner tell me, I was in Canada, yeah, a while back, one of my managers told me that you guys had left the vacuum broken. It was a Dyson, and that you guys didn't let us know. And so I kind of had to do some backtracking through my manager and then to the employee that was working, and I was like, does anybody know what happened with this vacuum? Like, I can't imagine you guys just breaking it and leaving it there. Like, this just seems out of character for my staff. So I was asking them, and they're like, oh no, you know what? We found it broken. And so I taped it back together and used it, and then I let the manager know. And then I don't think our manager passed a message on to email that team just to say, hey, by the way, we found the vacuum broken. Like, we did this to make sure it worked. So that was our fault. We didn't fully communicate. I think she thought, oh, obviously they know the vacuum is broken. It's their vacuum.
Right.
So I don't think that's why she didn't follow through. But we looked bad in the end. Like, the other owner was like, what are you guys doing? You broke a vacuum, duct taped it, and left it. And just like, great. I was like, oh, this is...
Isn't that battery-powered Dyson?
Yeah.
Is it still working?
I think they got another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but-
I have nightmares. So.
John's got PTSD. Anyone that's ever gonna buy a vacuum in Canada or somewhere, don't buy a Dyson. Buy a Shark, at least.
If you're gonna buy a battery-powered Dyson.
Yeah.
Or if you're gonna buy a battery-powered vacuum,
Yeah.
buy a Shark. If you're gonna buy just a normal vacuum, buy a Melee.
Yeah,
Anyways, we
okay.
digress.
You don't know we own a cleaning company.
Yeah.
It's important information.
Those
to us.
questions that people ask us because they think we're the experts,
Yeah.
which we are.
That's right.
And so those are the exact advice that we give to
Yeah.
people.
I have a list of recommendations
Yeah.
for people. So
It's like, if you're gonna buy a brush cutter in Fiji, just get Kawasaki. Don't get fancy and don't get cheap. Just buy one of the TJs. Yeah?
no, I don't.
No?
I don't-
TJ53,
I
TJ35.
have used a brush cutter. A brush
Yeah, I don't
cutter
think you have.
twice. No, I have twice. When I used to have my garden, I used to brush cut
Oh, you did?
the weeds in between the rows, just because there's too much work. That bad boy was so heavy. Oh my gosh, it almost
You
killed
didn't
me.
use a strap?
No, I did, but it's too long, so I was kind of like half holding it. Look, the
Oh,
strap
yeah.
wasn't working. It was a lot of work for me, and then I was like, I don't know. Anyway, that garden was long gone. John rotivated my strawberries in. It was a sad day. And
You gave me permission.
No, I did. I don't think I did. I think you just went for it, and I was like, I saw you out the window in the sink, and I was like, no.
Really?
You ask Aliki. He remembers my trauma.
Yeah. I feel like we should restart the backyard garden again.
I do, and I don't. I don't have time for it
I have a
anymore.
question for you.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, like,
Oh, okay. That is such a narcissistic question. I'm going to ask you
what
that.
is it? Oh, yes. Okay, let's just do it because it's funny.
Okay, this is a game that we play. I haven't played for a long time, but I wanted to pull it out today. It's called We're Not Really Strangers, right? And so
It's
it's
been a
just
long time.
it's a game that you play. This one is for couples. It's the couples one. There's ones that are for friends, and it's just like to start good conversation and ask each other questions. Something that would make you very uncomfortable, probably, if you're a Fijian.
Yeah. Okay, so this question, like John said, is really,
Makes me uncomfortable,
it's
actually.
really vain.
'Cause,
So.
yeah, it's all, yeah.
And this is not we didn't make up this question. You guys can see. Anyway, so John, what could other couples learn from us? It's such a funny question.
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think about like what people probably see in us when they like.
No.
From the
I
outside
don't think
looking
you should
in.
look that way outside in. I think you should just look at us as a couple and say to yourself, what do we do good together?
I don't know. I think we communicate clearly with each other.
Okay.
Maybe too clearly sometimes.
Too clear. Okay.
I think we back ourselves. Maybe
Yeah.
too much.
No. There's never too much.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that one went on my ear and then it went for your mouth.
it went straight into my mouth, my open mouth. I was like, oh.
Oh no. Okay.
I think that, yeah, that's all I got.
John's list just keeps going.
No,
and
that's
one
it.
more thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to say, and this is true in some days and really not true in other days, okay? So it's only 50-50. But I think 50% of the time we fight well. I would say that's the one thing that's kept us together. Like,
How do you fight well?
I think just solving it later. I don't think there's ever like,
Solving it later?
I think just solving it in general or
Okay,
apologizing
okay.
or like
Don't solve it later.
later.
Yeah. But
But
solve it, she's saying.
Or even today, like we were having like a small fight.
I didn't
in
know
the
how we
car.
solved that.
We
just-
didn't.
Yeah.
I let it go.
Yeah.
That's how we solved that. We were like having this tiff in the car because I felt like John was being like overly aggressive with his answer for no reason out of the blue because I wanted to go for lunch and then he was like, "We're busy," and I felt like he was like
Wow.
angry with me and I wanted an apology. I was
Sometimes
like,
women hear things that you don't even say. That's the
Yeah.
thing, guys. It's like you can say, "I just have a few things to do, and then we're gonna go for lunch." And then she's like, "Why are you yelling? You don't have to talk to me like that. You're busy,"
Yeah,
or whatever.
okay,
like you heard.
next time I'm gonna turn around to Tui because he's witnessing and be like, "Tui, was that too much?
Shit.
Was it? Was it?" And he'll be like,
Tui's
"Leave
always
me
on
out
my
of
side.
this." No,
Yeah.
highly doubt that. But anyway, I let it go because I was like really pissed. I was like so mad. And you went to the bank, and then I was like, okay, we have the rest
Oh, I
of the
went to the
day.
bank for a long time
Yeah,
too.
I know. And that was irritating the heck out of me. And then I was like, okay, girl, you just need to let it go because John's not going to apologize today. He's in a mood. And also, I don't feel like fighting all day. So I just let it go.
That's good. Good call.
You're welcome. But that's what, sometimes that has to happen, right? I think sometimes in fighting, you just have to be like, it's fine. They were a bit of a jerk, moving on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that's what we do. You guys
There's
would-
this great advice, and I think of it often, and we don't like always like quantify it like this. You guys can go have a shower first and
Sorry,
get
the boys
cleaned
are
up,
coming in.
and
Okay,
then you
watch
may.
the mat, go shower. You guys can use your devices if you would like to for about 30 minutes. And yeah, you can use the iPad for 30 minutes until we're done. Oh, so excited. And in your room or behind the wall, not too loud, because we are live.
Thank you.
Okay. So just for you people that don't think we let our children use devices, we typically do around like this time. It's dark. Normally I'm making dinner. Can I have they're allowed to watch a show or play games for like, I don't know, half an hour to an hour while I'm making
Yeah.
dinner. Yeah.
What I heard this one couple do is they would come in and they would ask each other like at the end of the day, or if one was feeling exhausted, they would ask each other, or one would initiate the question like, "What are you at for a percentage?"
Oh, I heard you ask me this the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, where is this coming from?
I was like, "What are you feeling out of like if 0% to 100%, where are you at?" And you were like,
I'm a 4.
"No, you said 10."
No, I said 4.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I rounded up. We only did go working 10s here, so it actually should have been 0, but
Wait, like 10 was like, I thought like 10 means like I'm powered up. Like 10 is good.
no, out of 100.
Oh, out of 100?
Yeah.
No, you said out of 10. You asked me out of 10, what are you at? And I was like,
But
a
she
4.
misheard the question. Anyways, the question is supposed to be like, out of 100, where are you feeling percentage-wise?
I
And
feel-
if the person says like 10, and you feel like you came home at the end of the day and you're also at a 10, then you guys know that you have to have a lot of grace for each other, and that there needs to be an
I see.
opportunity to just be forgiving, because you guys are both
Dark.
at the end of the rope. And so, yeah.
Yeah, well, and the other day you came home, I had a really long day. We had a big function here, and there was like a lot of people in our house. There was a lot of things going on. The kids were driving me bonkers because they weren't listening to me and just being so mean to me during the day. And you came home and I was trying to wrap up work, and then you were like, "Hey, Steph, can you unload the truck and wash all my spearfishing stuff?"
Oh, that was that day, yeah.
Yeah, you were like, "I've got to go down."
Because then
and-
when you answered, I was like, "Okay, no, don't worry about it. I got it." But then you still got up and did it.
Well, I didn't mind like the help. I was just like, no, I can't do all of that. I am
Oh
dying.
yeah, because they wanted me to set up the Starlink.
Yeah, you had to
Sure.
go down and do some other stuff. But yeah, at
Is there
least
any questions?
we did it together, and then that kind of, helped me get through that moment. So I didn't mind helping, but the large task of unpacking everything just seemed like
Daunting.
really daunting.
Yeah, no, I
was
get
just
it.
Like, ooh, yeah.
Sorry.
What?
Yeah, question.
Tui has a question for us.
From myself, thoughts on the U.S. election?
Thoughts on the U.S. election or Kamala?
Trump or Kamala?
Trump or Kamala?
Ooh.
Trump. Yeah, for sure, Trump. Not because necessarily like I agree with everything he says,
No.
but because the United States is obviously not in a really good place. Kamala has been the vice president of this government for the last 4 years. And so as much as they've tried to disassociate her from anything to do with the Biden presidency, like she was his vice president. And she's never really earned anything in her life. She had the worst presidential race prior to the 2020 election, where she tried to be the presidential nominee, and she got absolutely destroyed. And then she was asked to be the vice president for Joe Biden because she's a woman and because she's of color. And so I just don't think she has a backbone. I think a lot of the things that people weren't very popular or didn't find her very popular for, she's just changed her opinion on, and she's like, gotten all strict about oil, or loosened her policies on oil. That's if she has any policies at all. And she's obviously done a terrible job with the border and the immigration crisis in the States. And now she's, trying to dissociate herself with that as well. Even though she was the border czar, she was the person who was supposed to be in charge of that. And so, yeah, I just feel like we know what we get with Kamala. This is we being like the world, because I don't get to vote in the United States
Yeah,
election.
because we are not American.
Yeah, just so you guys know, we're Canadian. So it doesn't. I feel free to talk about this because it doesn't have any repercussions for me to share this opinion.
Yeah.
Because I know in the United States, a lot of people apparently can be like really it can be very divisive, this conversation. And so.
You say divisive? You don't say divisive?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's divisive. Yeah.
I feel like John's
Divisive?
turning into American. Divisive. I feel like that's wrong.
Yeah, it's probably what Kamala would say.
Stop yourself.
That's why I wore short shorts for this
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly.
Just for Kamala.
Okay. Like we're gonna grow Kamala, or like?
Ooh. Yeah. Purple Kamala. So that is my opinion, and I just like that Trump is raw, and
Well, he's not a good
Free-spoken.
politician. He says a lot of
Yeah.
not great things in public, and so that doesn't make him look good. So it's hard to stand behind him for certain things of that. But at least he's not good at being manipulative, I think.
Oh, he's definitely good at manipulating.
No, but not in that way. Not in like the smooth talk. I think that is the one thing that I like, is he's not good at smooth talk. And in Canada, we'd really like to see a more conservative government come in, and we find that Canada's politics follows the States. So I would like to see that change for us in Canada. So I would say that's kind of one of my bigger reasons. I'd love to see more of a conservative government come into Canada, because we're in the most debt we've ever been in history. It's not looking great for us as a country. So can't wait for our election. More about the Americans, Canadian elections coming.
I don't think. Yeah. Anyways, that's what our answer about that. Next question.
Bill's in the chat saying hello. Thanks, Bill.
Oh, hey, Bill, how's it?
Billy, Kate, William, Asia saying hello.
Hey, hey.
This is from
Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate it.
Lillian. Does everyone in your family know how to speak Hindi
No.
or the native language? And if not, has it been hard learning?
No, none of us really speak that good of Hindi. I can understand Hindi I can understand a little bit of Hindi simply because of my parents used to be in missions in Fiji, and they were involved with the ministry was to the Hindu community in the Nandi area. And so that is why I know what I know, but still, it's not that much. But yeah, I speak reasonably broken Fijian. And I don't admit to being very fluent at all. And you won't even hear me trying to speak Fijian, because, like, if you speak English and I speak English, then we'll just speak English. And so
I feel like your Fijian has improved a lot.
yeah, no, it's
though.
definitely improved, yeah.
And
I
I
just don't find any need, like, I don't have an identity crisis because I don't speak Fijian. And I feel like a lot of people in Fiji, they speak Fijian because they feel like it's like even though they speak it very broken and it's not like the best form of communication, we speak it because we're proud to speak it. But I'm not proud to speak Fijian because it's something that was a pain point for me. So I think I've just tuned that out, and I've just chosen not to care because I want to care a lot about other things. And so language is not at the top of my priority list. Yeah. But the kids speak decent Fijian as well.
Nikki,
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
battery pack on my dresser.
Okay. Another question. What are some places you would recommend seeing while in Sendanga? all the way up when we live in that is water.
Oh, okay. So the question was, what are some places that you want to go, or that you would recommend seeing in Sanganga or the Vanuatu area that are wallet friendly, so budget friendly, like places to tour around?
Sorry, what was the question?
Budget friendly places to tour around, like kind of like sightseeing or fun things to go to in
Like in
Sanganga or
Sanganga?
in the Vanuatu area. In Vanuatu.
Hmm.
I think, well, like just the drive to Sao Sao was really, really pretty. So if you guys like, just if you're, I don't know, is this person from here or whatever it is. If you're from here, then obviously that's not exciting because you do that all the time. But like if you're not from here, just if you land in Limbasa, you're staying there, just drive to Sao Sao.
Yeah.
Just rent a car for the day and just go for a drive because it's not that far. It's like an hour and a half.
And you can always stop in at Fresh Tea and Coffee.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is true.
That's a
Yep.
good pit stop. Get your coffee and keep going. Actually, we had a guy from America there today.
Yeah, that's right.
Just so random.
Yeah, it was funny because he didn't know. It was really rare because a lot of you guys are the reason that that coffee shop exists and functions as it does because you guys here know us and then you guys go support
Yeah.
Fresh Tea and Coffee.
And he had no clue who we were, and I was like, yes, this
No.
is a good, like, yes, we've made it. People that don't know us are coming from the States to stop in for
It was like
coffee.
he said, he got in, he's like, I just need coffee, hot coffee. And he was like,
He's like, I
late
need
night, early
black
morning.
coffee.
He started the day, and he apparently didn't go to sleep till after midnight. And he started his day at like, he woke up at 3 to leave Suva at 4 to catch the boat over to Vanuatu. So he was just legit, like, he was a legit guy who just needed a coffee. And he had no idea we existed. He probably Googled coffee shops, and he was like, got to Nambualu, and we probably popped up.
Yeah, I guess so. I was really shocked.
And he like walked in, he's like,
He's like, where am
Yeah.
I? This
and
random.
he's like, yes, all right,
I loved it.
we did it.
It was really funny.
And hopefully he drove away with a decent coffee
Yeah.
in his mind.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has a unique taste. I love our coffee.
Yeah, I do too. I know. I'm a little bit of a coffee snob for Bula coffee, apparently. So.
Yeah. Like, I think I've also heard, like, people, like, real coffee snobs open the Bula coffee app and they won't even look at it, apparently.
I know, which I'm like,
And so, like, that's probably, like,
how is that possible?
yeah, but there's some, like, bottles of wine. People, like, you can have, like, wine snobs who are like, oh, this is like, rate the cheapest to the most expensive
Yeah.
bottle, and they do it in the, like, full-on, like, winos, and they do it in the complete wrong order.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
The cheapest wine
Yeah.
is the best wine, the expensive wine is the worst wine.
Yeah,
Like, you've
that's
seen
true.
these videos before.
Okay, what other sites can we recommend from people?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We're just like
Big
way off
rant.
track. Advertise.
I wasn't even thinking about advertising.
I
I think the waterfalls that we went to. So if
Yeah.
you guys go back in our Instagram feed, maybe a month, not even, just we give the exact directions, so I don't have to talk about where it is. But the waterfalls are freaking gorgeous, and there's another set of waterfalls, Vuondomo, they're called,
Yeah.
that you can also go to.
And actually, that place is becoming really cool. They're starting to set up a spa there. So right outside.
Not
the-
budget friendly to stay there.
Yeah.
Budget friendly to visit the waterfalls, I think.
I have no idea what they're going to have accommodation. I don't know what their cost for accommodation is going to
Idea.
be.
We're just
But-
talking about going to the waterfalls.
Yeah.
So the one waterfall, I think, is around $30 for a full vehicle, like
Oh,
per
the
vehicle.
one that we did on the kids' birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other one, I think, is $15 per person.
No, it's about 25, I think, per person now. The price
Okay.
has gone up.
No longer budget friendly, I'd say.
Yeah, but it is fun, and they do. If you go ahead and pre-book it, I think you can get like a Lovo lunch done for you there now.
For $25.
No, it's not for $25.
Okay, yeah. It depends what budget friendly is. Like.
Yeah.
I don't. Where are you coming from? Like, are you
Like
coming
if
on
you're
U.S.
coming
dollars?
from the States and US dollars, then it is going to be budget because the price is half, so it's not that big of a deal. What? What's up?
What would you like?
Where's the phone?
You guys can just use the same one.
Yeah,
okay?
you guys can
For
go
now.
share the iPad,
Right?
please, and go to your room with it if you can.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay? Yeah. Yes, Mom.
I think the Salt Lake also is epic.
Yeah,
you guys have-
that is awesome. But But you need either to get like a guide. Okay, so John and I went and did like the Salt Lake river raft with my parents, and we were on paddle boards. We had 3 of them, and it was awesome. But we didn't know the timing of the tide, right?
Oh yes, yeah. Well, we had the supboards, river rafts.
Yeah. No, didn't I call them paddle boards?
Let's call them river rafts.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways,
River rafts.
yeah, we were on the paddle boards, and so you got to time the tide. But the Salt Lake is really gorgeous.
Yeah.
So it's just past Awasabu. You don't have to pay anything other than your kayak rentals, I guess. But as far as like entry fees, no. You just get to the Salt. You can Google all this. Just drive past it like 200 meters, and there's a huge parking lot on the right side with stairs to go down. You want to time like the very end of the incoming tide.
Yeah.
Go in and be ready to be there for a few hours, and then come back out. Wear water shoes because apparently there's stonefish.
Yeah,
and
in
there's
the
one
shallows.
there's one shallow part, only one shallow part that if you time the tide wrong, you have to walk.
So we timed the tide really wrong, and then luckily we had the guys.
Not
with
really
us.
wrong. We went in on the incoming, and then we thought that we could just like wait for the slack tide and then come out. But we should have almost waited for just the beginning of slack tide because the water keeps coming in.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't start going out until well into the outgoing tide.
So we got like halfway, and we had my parents and the kids, and I think like my dad was doing really good, but he was getting pretty worn out, and my dad's had like throat surgery, so he can't take like big breaths in. So once, he's paddling up and he's pulling my mom, and so like once he gets like laborious breath, he kind of struggles.
Laborious breath.
Well,
Wow.
like a lot of air intake.
Sounds like the name of like
anyway,
a band.
so
that
I
5
didn't
pregnant
want
women would be
him
in.
struggling so much. So we kind of pulled over by, what's that house called? Like Lake, what's the river called again?
Oh, the Salt Lake
Lake
Lodge.
It's a Salt Lake Lodge.
Yeah.
Okay, so we pulled over there, and the caretakers there were lovely, and they just took pity on us, and they took us.
Loaded us up in the boat?
They took us in our boat back up the river, because we would have had to hitchhike or like walk it.
So
that
if worse
was
comes
nice
to
of
worse
them.
and you time it wrong, also, there's a road that runs beside the Salt Lake river.
And you can just hike it. It's not
So
that bad.
yeah, it's really neat because so this river the Salt Lake, there's a channel that like feeds it, and so it's all the way the river flows changes based on the tide, and this whole river, like if the visibility is good enough, you can actually snorkel it, and you'll see all the ocean fish in the river
Yeah, I hear it.
because they go in and out.
When we went, it was a little bit murky, so that was a little.
But it's large.
It
Like
was
when you
really
get in there,
bad.
it's not like a pond.
No.
It's a full lake.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we
it's
were all
like-
saying like there's a dock out there that you go like you get to and then you hang out on there. But we were all saying like I don't know if it'd be wise to like go tour around the lake because you might get stuck out there. Like the wind
Oh
was
my
pretty
gosh.
bad. We could have. What if you didn't get back?
Oh, you just died out there.
Okay. Well, we can always find some yam in the jungle. We won't die.
So
You-
that's
I
a
don't-
great
I
excursion
literally
if you're
don't
on a
believe you could
budget.
die. And also, I feel like I should be the next like contestant on Survivor. I feel like I would be the bomb at that. I'll go out there and be like, "Oh, here's a wild yam,"
Oh
and
my
then they
gosh,
could
Kakalu,
never,
I quit.
they could never vote me off. Kakalu, I quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so true. I don't like those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Fly your face.
So we got first tea and coffee. We got the waterfalls, and we got Salt Lake Lodge.
A lot of people really like Kokomana, which is like a
Yeah, the chocolate factory,
chocolate factory, so it's local.
and they have
made
all their own
chocolate.
cocoa.
And the guy that runs it, I think his name's Richard. Is his name Richard?
His name is Richard.
Wow,
But they
second
make
time today. I suck at
the
names, everybody. Second name I remembered today.
Dirtiest coconut chocolate bar. You've never had it. You know
No,
what I love?
haven't.
There's nothing I love more in candy because I don't really like candy
It's
than
coconut.
coconut-filled chocolate.
You love
But
coconut.
what they make another one, or they were making it at least. It was a ginger-filled chocolate bar,
Oh.
and it was like sweet ginger goodness. It was just
And they're just very knowledgeable. Like it's a really great educational moment to go in and learn out about all like the fauna and flora and what's happening in Fiji and just kind of I don't know. They're just like
Yeah.
very smart, well educated
super passionate.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
It's
good one.
interesting to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else can we? Well, there's like the natural hot springs, but I don't think anyone can find that if you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, there's a beautiful beach called Devondara just outside of Subsabu. It's probably like 10 minutes past the airport,
Yeah.
5-10 minutes past Subsabu Airport.
Oh, and we
Super cool beach,
just
free to go to, and it's got a huge lagoon.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we just heard about these new hot springs. We haven't been there out in Wailevu.
Yeah, we
where
can't
the
talk about it yet because we don't know about it. So let's not talk about it until we go.
Airport beyond.
Yeah.
Well, we're not like I can't give directions. I haven't been there. We're gonna go there and we're gonna make a video, and talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
run a little
'Cause
explore.
I love hot springs. It's the best. I don't have a bathtub here, so
That should be a vlog. We like do it like raw, like we're going to find this place that we just heard about from a taxi driver.
because we did. John and I just heard about
Okay,
it.
so
last
what we heard
weekend.
about was that it's a hot spring that's got they've like put the rocks around it, so it's hot, and then there's an ice cold one right
No,
beside
no,
it.
don't, babe. You misheard
Or the river.
that.
Or the
There-
river. Yeah,
there's
it's either
no-
or.
It's the river. It's the river is right beside.
Yeah, but I
it.
think they've made a pool in the river. It's right beside the hot spring.
Oh, okay. Well, that
Yeah.
would make more sense.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll
Like
see.
it is the river, and the river is the temperature of the river. It's not ice cold. This is not Canada, bro.
This is me.
There's
This
no
is me in
ice
this
cold in
conversation.
Fiji. Yeah. I had to bring my bag of ice just to cool it down and just be like, that's right.
Just got to prove a point. Okay, next question.
Your top 3 accounts you follow and best 3 books you've read.
Ooh. Oh, okay. I already have a book. Jocko, what's his last name? Williams?
Willing?
Willing?
Yeah. Extreme ownership.
Extreme Ownership. Love that book. And it's a book for dudes and for girls, and it's all about his military experience in how to make it relevant to business.
Yeah.
And I loved every second of the book. And it was so good to, like, it was so impactful on my life.
Yeah. And then
Second,
probably
Oh, I got,
Rick Warren, Purpose Driven Life.
I don't know if
Pretty
I
cliche.
read that.
Everybody, like, that's probably one of the world's most popular
Okay.
Christian books. But that is a book, like, it's a great book. Great book. Or E-Myth Revisited,
Okay.
if you're talking business.
Okay, boringest book you've ever listened to it. Best business concepts of all time.
What?
E-Myth Revisited.
Yeah.
So boring.
Yeah, we're talking about books. We're talking
But
about
it's
books.
so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Third, Little House on the Prairie, the full, all the books, the full set.
John loves Little House on the Prairie. He
Dude.
loves it.
No shame. Honestly, one of the best.
Oh.
I didn't read books, and I still don't read books. I read all 7 or 8 of those books. Little House on the Prairie. It was all about a family that like was pioneering in the States, and they came across on like these trains or on these horse buggies, and just like dug holes in the ground. Like they find a hill, dig out the hill, and that would be like their
like hobbies.
yeah, that'd be like their house. And then they have like horses. They start raising cattle and just farming the land and stuff like that. And it's just a story of like, I think a few sisters. There's a
Yeah,
couple sisters or
yeah.
3 sisters and their parents.
This is like a homesteading.
manly.
That's why John
Oh,
loves
no.
that book.
Oh, no, it's trying to come in the
Kakalo's
window.
coming. We
Close
didn't
the curtain.
Oh, I'm scared of them though. Can you, Sam? Can you shut these curtains?
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm trying to find
That book.
my other book.
Oh,
Okay, what is it called? Like Million Dollar Leads, or is it Million Dollar? What's the first one?
$1 Million Listing.
No. Okay, that's the show we really like. What's the $1 Million Leads? The free one from I'm blanking on his name, which is terrible because I love him. Rich. Oh, well,
Oh, Alex Ramosi? $1 Million Offers?
yeah. Oh, $1 Million Offers. That was a really good book.
Yeah,
I
that was
really
really
like
good
that. I like all of his stuff. He's great. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
have like Rich Dad Poor Dad in here as well that I
Come
listened
soon.
to quite a few times.
Yep.
That was a great book. Just like talking about money and how like rich people talk to their kids about their money and poor people don't. And that's why a lot of rich kids get educated into knowing about money and being educated on money. And when we're poor, because we're ashamed of our money or we don't know much about money, we don't talk about money because it's private, because we don't want to actually share what's going on in our own finances. I thought that was great. I'm like, yeah, let's have a little more freedom with talking about money, because who cares? If I'm rich or poor, it's just money. Money comes, money goes. It's really good for our kids to be educated in that and learn how to save and invest and do all the things that we need to learn. So,
So what's this book again?
$1 Million Offers. Yeah.
what? No,
Give
not
me
right
the
now.
double
I'm
leads.
doing this. You need to leave and go on the iPad.
So
Um,
three books each.
3 books each. Did I give 3 already? I think I have.
Oh, do I have 3?
Little House on the Prairie, and what else?
Yeah, I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really actually a
No.
big books guy.
What is that one that you actually read? You read one on like an actual paper cover, which was very surprising a long time ago.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
I read the E-Myth Revisited. I really like that.
Yeah.
That'd probably be on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instagram accounts?
Yeah.
Alex Hermosi.
Yeah, love him. Always
For
follow
sure.
him.
And on Twitter. He posts most of his tweets. Who else?
Sorry, I'm gonna fix these curtains. Ryan Pineda, maybe?
No.
No?
That's a good question. I don't really know off the top of my head. I would have to say Alex Hermosi is the one that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah. Who do I follow on Instagram? I don't feel like I follow a lot of people on Instagram. Like lately, well, okay, the type of page that I follow on Instagram, I always follow food pages. Typically,
It's
it's
just
about
so boring. That's the worst crap ever.
what? It normally is about salads, and I don't even like salads. I'm just trying to figure out how to cook in Fiji. That's why I follow
Food
that.
channels are so boring. Yeah.
Okay, I always watch like food cooking shows.
If you ever had the
where I'm cooking.
login to our Walk with Family page, you just see just a bunch of food crap on there.
Yeah, because I'm always like, what am I gonna make? And I have to feel like inspired to cook. And John hates it. If I watch like a food challenge show, he's like, turn that garbage off. I'm like, seriously, come on.
Who's that tattoo guy?
Oh yeah.
The Bills.
You built?
Covered in tattoo.
Oh, Sean Getz? Or Sean Gatz? Yeah, he's not in my top. He's a good content creator. But,
Better question. Let's revise this question.
okay.
John, who do you follow on YouTube? Who are you top on YouTube? I feel like you're more of a YouTube guy than you're like an Instagram guy.
Yeah, well, my YouTube stuff's all car stuff.
Okay,
So,
such as?
Daily Driven Exotics,
You love them.
Cletus McFarland,
Okay.
and I guess those are probably the two. Mondi, I love because Mondi started off with business advice and then he got into cars.
Okay.
And
The only guy I like is the one that buys like crazy cars and then destroys them. I like him.
Whistling Diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listening Diesel because he's vicious and it's funny to me. I love it. I wish I could do that content. Just buy nice things and like trash it. He like his YouTube channel just like survives off of anger and hate because people are horrified that he would do any of those things. And it's quite funny.
Top podcasts.
Okay, podcasts.
You?
Mostly in the last year or two, I've listened to Alex Hermosi.
Okay.
I was listening to for quite a few years to a podcast called, I'm forgetting, something Business Moms. There's these two ladies that do business together, and they just like chit chat about their day and how they do business, and they're juggling kids and life. I found that really like, I don't know, just like appeasing, I guess, to listen to. I didn't find that they always had like the best knowledge for me, but they did have something relatable.
So it was actually a terrible podcast.
No, I just
I didn't
felt-
find it very helpful, but it was like
no,
soothing to
I
listen
guess
to the
I didn't find it
voices.
like aggressive enough. Like I like a business podcast. It's gonna slap you in the face, but sometimes you just need like something mellow that is something you can relate with, and that was that for me. Yeah. What other? Do you have another podcast?
I'm liking Lecrae's new podcast. Actually, it's really, really good.
Oh.
It's called The Deep End, and like he interviewed, who was it? Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up on my phone right now.
I'm just seeing who I have.
So these are the last people that he's had on. Okay, Nick Cannon, ex-gay and trans couple get vulnerable, B. Simone, and then he had two Christians. One is voting for Kamala and one is voting for Trump. And so he's a really good interviewer actually. Like he obviously we know him from the rap game, but he's actually a really good interviewer.
Oh, okay. These are my podcasts. This is what I have. I've got Joe Rogan. I've got Village Church Sermons. I've got Jocko Podcast and Brilliant Business Moms. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
That's what I've got.
I've really enjoyed actually the 505 podcast recently.
What
They're
is-
very good.
what is that about?
They're all about content creation and how to sell and market your content.
Oh yeah, and you've been
Yeah.
listening to that a lot. Yeah, which is good. I think that's a
And
really
Pineda.
it's a really great habit to get into, is podcasts, guys, because a lot of times it will give you just a different perspective. It'll give you different business ideas, and it's an easier way to actually further your education in life. If you pick the right ones, or your knowledge about the world, I guess, in general. If you're listening to those when you're cooking, when you're doing like yard work, when you're just doing kind of like a mundane task that you don't need much of a brain for, you can just kind of turn it all off, plug into that, and educate yourself either on sales or podcasting or, I don't know, advertising or just a new life
Yeah.
skill. I think those are really educational and something that you can push yourself when you're doing a mundane task. I think it's great.
Okay, I have a question for you,
Okay.
and we're going to clip this.
What
So
do you-
mark this.
I don't know what you mean.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
Top 3 hottest guys in the world.
I don't really like. I struggle. Like, I find you attractive, but I don't find a lot of men attractive. And I know that sounds really sad.
It's good. All right. So for me,
Yeah, you get like a list of 10. So I like Halle Berry.
I like Halle
Okay,
Berry.
we all
I
know that
like,
she's on that
Jessica
list.
Alba. I like.
Oh, like
You like Chris
it.
Pine.
Yeah, I think Chris Pine is good looking. I think he's cute more than like,
Okay.
yeah.
You like Chris Hemsworth? And you like Chris Rock?
Chris Hemsworth? No.
It's all Chris's. It's crazy.
Oh, who's the guy that's Superman? He's good looking. Huh?
Henry Cavill?
Yeah,
Cavill?
he's good looking.
You know what? I back away from this question. I don't like the look on your face right now.
Okay, do you know I
Hey,
like?
don't smile.
I like jawline.
Oh, yeah?
You have good jawline.
Oh.
I like jawline in men,
Okay.
and that's also why I would never let you grow like a lot of facial hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa?
No,
Yeah?
you know what really threw me for a loop, and I hope Jason never listens to this because I don't want to like diss him.
Oh, I'm very sorry about this, Jason.
Yeah.
I know you listen
Jason,
to this.
if you hear
Crazy.
this, my
Dude,
apologies.
You know
okay,
Jason listens to this
so
podcast.
we were at the Sevens rugby game.
Okay, well, Jason, I really apologize because she's about to mix you up with Chris Hemsworth, okay?
No, it wasn't. Wasn't it Jason Momoa?
Oh my
Was it?
gosh.
I just
You know
remember it was a superhero.
Your mouth.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Jason Momoa.
Stephanie, this was before Jason Momoa was a big
Was
thing.
it?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, maybe because Jason Momoa has a little bit of like,
Different person.
femin-
Blonde and Australian. Dark hair
I
and
feel
Hawaiian.
okay. I have to Google this
Someone.
later. I'm gonna have to Google this later. Anyway, whoever was out there
Guys,
on the
back
rugby
me up,
field,
please. Just somebody in the live. Just say,
Okay.
just tell us.
John's probably right, but either
Please.
way, Jason Momoa has a bit of like a femme side to him,
What?
which is not for me.
You think so?
Have you ever listened to him like just talk, not in acting?
Really?
I don't know, or maybe yeah. There's just something that I'm like, it's not for me. And he's a good-looking
I don't-
guy.
So
Nope.
would you choose Jason Momoa or Chris Hemsworth?
I couldn't choose either because if it was Chris Hemsworth kicking that rugby ball in the field, it
Oh.
was a shame.
It was so true.
It was.
It was at the Vancouver Sevens, and Chris Hemsworth was asked to come out onto the field and like
I
kick.
guess I got them mixed up, but because they're both like.
Oh no, it wasn't.
four.
He was supposed to do like a halftime show thing, and like he
Yeah.
was like the host for like this competition where these kids would like kick. Whoever
Yeah.
got the most conversions, like got a prize,
It was
and then
not
at the end,
good.
everybody's like, "Kick that ball!"
Yeah,
kick
it
that
was
ball."
not good.
And then he was like, "Oh, should
Oh,
I?" And then
no,
he
I
like
need to kick it.
right in fist. Like, there's like a shank
it-
where you can tell somebody doesn't hit the ball right, but like there's like a shank where you're like,
No,
"Oh,
but
you've
it
never
didn't
done
even,
anything
like, it
athletic
didn't
in your
even-
life."
Yeah, he just seemed so unathletic, and
He almost
I went
missed
like,
the ball with his
I was
foot.
like, oh my gosh, you have all these like hardcore like jacked men that are just like savaging, like killing each other, come out, and then you're supposed to be like this amazing superhero, and you're just like wah wah wah, and it was just really like, ooh, no, that was you were acting, hey. The whole time in the movies, because I think a lot of people want to be like, oh, the movies are real, that's who they are, and I was like, bro, that is embarrassing. I think he felt that in his soul, and so I don't want to embarrass him anymore. I felt it in my soul as well in the moment, and I just was like, let's just put our heads down in shame and just get off the field.
So bad.
Yeah. Hopefully one day you get a redo, and Sorry about that.
Any other questions?
It's brutal.
If you know Joe's Cafe on Commercial Drive, they're closing this Saturday after 5 decades.
Oh.
Joe is my extended family and the reason my family is in Canada.
Joe's
Joe's
Cafe.
Cafe.
Why does it sound familiar?
Yeah, I feel like I have heard of that.
Is it because we're getting mixed up with Joe's Farm?
No.
Commercial Drive in Saskatoon?
It's from
Joe's Cafe.
Canadian.
I have to look this up now.
I feel like I have.
So
I know this.
they're closing down?
Yeah.
Whoa.
ASEAN says follow Thai and Vietnamese pages for nice salads. We have same local ingredients.
Okay, perfect.
From BC.
We're just going to be making salads all day here now.
Right?
In BC.
Yeah, in BC.
In BC and Commercial Drive, like in the coast.
Oh, okay. So I don't know Joe's Cafe then.
I feel like I have.
Yeah, I know. I feel like it's really,
Sorry,
really famous.
I'm so scared of these cacalos.
That's really, really sad after 50 years.
So if you guys don't know, there's a hatch right now of cacalos. And
Cicadas.
cicadas. Okay, we can't. I'm just gonna keep calling them cacalos. I know that's scientifically wrong now because the lady that messaged
No,
us.
I'm just saying for some people who don't know, who haven't been following our wheels. This
So,
cicada bug.
There is a lady that is doing her what?
PhD.
Her PhD, and this is her thesis on cicadas. And she actually messaged us with the right technical name. She's been doing her research about what type of cicada this is. So we went out and measured it for her today and took some photos.
So many photos.
They're really cool looking bugs.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a
I
good
just don't-
picture of one tomorrow.
Yeah, I just really don't like how they fly around.
Dude, we should do it with the macro lens.
Oh yeah.
You're leaving tomorrow morning, eh? Shoot.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it before that.
Eh?
Oh,
Just
you're,
to test
you're,
out the macro lens?
Tui, you're going to Vanuatu tomorrow?
No.
No, it's going home.
Oh, okay. He's going home soon.
Next week.
Okay.
Joe's
Okay. John keeps confusing with that. Tui's
Commercial
heading
Drive.
out to Vanuatu next week, so we're gonna miss him. But John's also in Canada. I might go
Okay,
to Canada
whoever
too.
is, can you DM us who's messaging about Joe's Cafe? Who is that?
Lillian.
Because I would like to chat with you. So could you DM us on
Okay.
Instagram or Facebook? Here's the description. We feature espressos, cappuccinos, lattes, regular coffee. Try our delicious sandwiches, pastries, and variety of hot dishes. There's the details. Lively, no frills institution for coffee with a Portuguese twist and sandwiches. So I'm like, yeah, good
Okay.
looking things. Because there might be, if you guys are willing to answer questions for people that might be interested in expanding their coffee shop. I don't know, somebody.
Maybe.
We would be interested in seeing what's worked for 50 years and what
Yeah.
hasn't worked.
That's a
Yeah.
long time.
It's a long time.
That's forever, actually.
So if you're willing to have a conversation or
Mm-hmm.
put me in touch with somebody who ran the business, it'd be really cool to know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
There's a lot of differences, obviously, between Commercial Drive, Vancouver, and here, but yeah. Question?
Yeah,
Thank you guys for the questions.
so yes.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
This one's from Katarina Patalico.
This question is from Katarina. And the question is,
Are you able to accommodate a group of 5 young children on VTW? Walk through your farms and swim and end up at the coffee in 3 days, like 4 hours.
4 hours? Are we able to accommodate a group of people,
5 young children.
5 kids, to hang out in the village? This is not something that we are really set up for, because we have like a lot of things going on, and so the live appearance things and things that like require our actual time, like we charge a lot for, more than what I feel like people would want to pay for just hanging out with me.
Yeah.
If people want me to come and show up and do live streams for our platform or businesses or events and cool things that are worth promoting, like we charge for that. But we're so maxed out with all the things that we have going on in the day to day, whether it's the farm or the business in Canada or homeschooling our kids or managing the finances and the back end of all these businesses or the coffee shop or the media company.
Yeah, and I do wish we had some time to host people like that. Like, it would be fun. I think, like, it's very sweet that people would even want to do that with us.
I know. It's not like I don't want to. It's just like...
And I think it's easier to, like, or harder to say no to kids because I'm like, we can't have kids here. Like, I don't know. But, yeah, it is one thing that we're... Especially right now, John's actually taking off to Canada for visiting his grandma.
Next week.
And he has to actually officiate a wedding next week. So we're trying to get all our ducks in a row before he takes off. I actually might be joining him relatively shortly after that just because I had one of my other staff quit in Canada, so I have to go replace them and kind of sort out some of the business stuff. And I'm trying to revamp my business in Canada so it's a little bit easier so I don't have to go back there so often. Yeah, so timing-wise, definitely not the best either. That's kind of, yeah. Maybe in the future, if we're, like, less busy, we'll consider it. You can be, like, a really good tour guide.
Yeah.
We could, like, take people down the river and, like, river raft.
Take them spearfishing and stuff.
Yeah. I know. They all have to wear life jackets, though, because I don't trust people's swimming ability. Yeah. Can you swim? Yes. Jumps in the deep end, just drowns.
Yeah, so true.
And have to save them. I've had that happen a couple times now, where you like bring someone unknown to the village and they're like, I can swim. And you're like, jump in. It's like,
Oh no.
It's not a great experience, to be honest. It's very stressful.
Yeah, because honestly, like the people that we are on camera is like we're kind of boring. Like outside of like making the videos and doing this kind of, we really are. Like Tui's in his room editing. I'm in my room on my computer. Stephanie's on her computer.
I'm the most interesting. You guys all think that John's interesting, but I'm the one going around doing things, and these two are in their rooms.
Yeah. Or like I'm out, on the tractor or on the farm somewhere. It's just really actually mundane most of the time, which I think is like most people's lives.
Yeah.
But
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, and we do a lot of office work in the background, which you guys don't get to see, which is really lame.
The worst.
Yeah, it's a lot of screen time. Actually, recently, Tui and I have been out in the living room. We're starting again next week. We didn't do it this week because I've been kind of sick. But we've been doing kind of like a aerobics, Pilates, kind of, glutes? Tui saying glutes, a lot of squatting.
Just a specific body group.
Dude, like glutes, exercise, my butt has never been so in pain.
Why do I need the exercise? It's already that big.
No, dude, it's not to make your butt bigger. You're already tooty patooty booty or something like that.
No, the reason that you target your glutes when you're working out is because they're the biggest muscle group in your body. So if you want to burn, actually, if you have fat like on your stomach or you have fat on your back of your neck or whatever it is, doing workouts that target your glutes creates the most burn.
You burn the most calories because it's the biggest muscle in your body. So you're welcome.
So yes, it will build muscle in your glutes, but it will, also burn a lot of fat.
But normally if your glutes go like this, it will more go like this. Right? Yeah.
No.
Huh? No.
Well, if your glutes are soft, I like to see you jiggle jiggle. That's where that song came in. Right?
Okay. You're going to have to find a different man for that.
It is what it is. It's really funny. Well, it is what it is. We're working out, okay?
Working out.
Yeah. It's a lot of office work, so you got to work out once in a while.
Any other questions?
John's the question man.
I'm the
Okay,
question
we're
man.
going to do one last relationship question, and then we're going to wrap it for the night because I got to make dinner.
What's one thing you'd never change about our relationship?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, you first.
I think I wouldn't change. There's a lot of things I would change.
Wow. Okay.
No, just I guess not. I'm thinking
How
more like
rude.
no. I guess yeah, not relationally. I'm not thinking relationally. Relationally, I guess when I say that.
He's like, I wish Stephanie would clean the car every week.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think I'd never change how we back ourselves
Okay.
and just like are willing to uh, do something maybe out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Because like life is not easy, and even sometimes I am like, where did the money go? You know.
Yeah.
But life is definitely not mundane, and we put ourselves under a lot of pressure. I feel like, and this is all relative. There's people who put themselves under
More pressure.
more pressure, but it's as much as I can take. I think right now, and. But yeah, I don't think I would change that. Even because I think about that as being like, okay, maybe you would change that. I'm like, yeah, but that is one thing I wouldn't change.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people also that, live very mundane lives, and it's the same thing day after day, and that's okay. But like, I don't know. I read something today that it was just actually I was reading my Bible on the way
I was
home.
gonna say you always have a quote.
No, it's not a quote. It's just from the Bible, which is even better. And I was like, okay, I will, because I knew the kids would be awake, and so I sprinted up the last hill, which is probably like 200 meters or something. So it's a decent like uphill sprint. And then I walked the rest of the way home, and it said something to me that really stood out. It was, okay, if I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, or if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me, your right hand will hold me fast. And I was just like, yeah, feeling kind of overwhelmed today. And then I was like, if I settle on the far side of the sea, and I was like, oh, I can relate with that. And I don't know, it just gave me a bit of peace this morning. I was like, yeah, we kind of settled on the other side of the sea, and God is still God, and we're good. So that is something I wouldn't change about our relationship, is our ability to feel like, hey, to make decisions quickly and like feel like we can solve it with the Lord, and be like, yep, we should do it, even though it's crazy.
Yeah. To answer the question, what's one thing you'd never change about our relationship? I would say something that I appreciate about our relationship is how we divvy up jobs within our marriage. I think we don't have like a definite like blue and pink job, but we definitely have the things that we have strengths in that we've naturally fallen into. And then we have a lot of jobs that we share that are common ground, like dishes and disciplining our children or playing with our kids, or I don't know, just daily mundane tasks. I feel like a lot of marriages split up their jobs. Like, this is a blue job, this is a pink job. We do have some of those because I suck at mechanics and cars and things like that. Like, that's not my world that I'm going to step into and go, I'm so qualified for this. But I think in the day-to-day things, like this morning you put the laundry on and you hung all the laundry on the line, right? I think I really appreciate that we kind of split up those tasks. Like, some days I do that, some days you do that. But it just kind of makes, because we have such a heavy workload in the background, all those little things have to be split up. Otherwise, it would fall typically onto me to do all the house stuff. And I think that would get really exhausting and really hard, or resentful. And I think that we do a really good job at splitting those up relatively evenly. And I think some days we each individually, I think as people, you feel like, oh, I'm doing everything.
Yeah.
I think there are moments of that in relationship where you have to be like, okay, maybe I'm not doing everything. I have to look around and see what the other person is doing, or I may help me out with X, Y, and Z. Just if you're trying to take on more of the task, but it just depends if that person in the background is saying, actually, I have to get rid of all this office work before I come help. Then you continue on taking on all the daily tasks and just get them done. Mm-hmm. So I think in our relationship, that balance has been really great because we work together. I think we need that. I think we do that well. I think that's something that I'm really pleased with.
I agree. Cool. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. The live, like I said, and the podcast was sponsored by Pacific Energy. And for those of you not from Fiji, Pacific Energy is a service station here in Fiji. And they have a promotion going on right now called 3 times the charm. And they're giving away 3 brand new Nissan Navara Pro 4X utes, trucks, whatever you guys want to call them, twin cabs. And so they already gave one away, and you guys can go check out their page. It's pretty cool. The guy that they actually went and documented, that was one of my biggest suggestions for them when we were talking about this whole
Yeah.
project was we got to like document the people who actually win. So we show you guys
Yeah.
like, there was
Get
a
the
real winner out there.
story
Get the
behind
story
it.
out there.
We were pretty happy to see that they followed through and did that.
Yeah,
So.
and so that was great. So Chandrai Lomo won the first one. Next draw dates are going to be on November 16th and January 18th. And so the way that you enter 3 times the charm is you can go to any participating Pacific Energy station across Fiji and spend $30 or more on any fuel that comes from the pumps, right? So diesel, premix, unleaded kerosene, or $30 in Pacific and Shell lubricants that you'll find in the store on the shelves. And then you take your receipt, fill out the entry form, staple it together, drop it in the draw box. And yeah, you get a chance to win. So if you're going to fill up with fuel, why not fill up in a place where
You
You
could win a car or a
could-
truck
yeah.
or a ute
a
or a twin
uterus.
cab. That's what I thought that was the first time I ever heard that
Yeah.
phrase.
So thank you to Pacific Energy, and thank you to you guys, because none of this happens unless you guys support us,
Yeah.
and we don't get the sponsors, which allows us to pay for all this equipment, and to be able to have someone as talented as Tui behind the camera making all this stuff happen.
Yeah.
So thank you to you guys, and have a great weekend.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
Well, Monday.
Okay,
Naka.
Mother.